Paris, 1940. The Nazis stroll in like they're on a sightseeing tour, except instead of taking selfies at the Eiffel Tower, they're slapping swastikas on everything that breathes. France, bless its wine-soaked heart, folded like a paper napkin in a rainstorm. And just like that, Paris, the city of love, art, and reckless romantic decisions, becomes a fascist runway show. Leather coats, goose-stepping boots, and all the color palette of a dead pigeon. It's like Berlin had a midlife crisis and decided to redecorate Paris in jackboots and misery. Most artists? Gone, disappeared, vanished into the countryside like paintbrush-wielding ghosts. Some took up still life painting like fruit bowls were going to save humanity. But one man stayed put. Pablo freaking Picasso. 60, cranky, and about as subtle as a grenade in a tea party. The man was a walking tantrum with a brush. He didn't whisper his opinions. He painted them, screamed them, and threw ashtrays at them for good measure. Let's be clear. Picasso wasn't your soft, dreamy poet artist writing love sonnets under the moon. No, this guy chain-smoked emotions, had the empathy of a blender, and the ego of a solar system. But when the world caught fire, he didn't run. He dipped his brush in gasoline and painted matches. Rewind to 1937. Spain decides democracy is so last season and throws itself into a civil war. Franco and his fascist squad want control, and because evil loves company, Hitler and Mussolini send in planes to test out their new toys. The target? Guernica, a sleepy Basque town just trying to mind its goats. It's market day, no soldiers, no threat, just people buying onions and cheese. Perfect. Let's bomb it to hell. And bomb it they did. No military value, just carnage. Like a live demo of war crimes, brought to you by fascism and sponsored by moral bankruptcy. The world gasped. Picasso? He exploded, on canvas. Enter Guernica, a full-on 25-foot psychological breakdown. Black, white, and all kinds of WTF. It's what happens when you funnel grief, rage, and trauma into one monstrous, jagged scream. Let's unpack the madness. Center stage, a mother holding her dead child. Her mouth wide open in a howl that could peel paint off a wall. It's not a cry, it's a soundless apocalypse. Next to her, a horse with a spear through its gut, mid-scream, mid-meltdown, like it just read the news. The tongue, a blade. Overhead, a light bulb, or maybe a divine eye that's seen too much and decided to emotionally check out. It casts that cold interrogator glow of yikes, humanity really messed this one up. Then there's the bull, always the bull. Franco, Spain, symbolic animal stand-in for, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm here anyway. Your guess is as good as Picasso's. Down below, a fallen soldier, arm outstretched, clutching a broken sword sprouting a tiny flower. Because even in a cubist hellscape, Picasso can't resist one dramatic, poetic jab of hope. What a theater kid. Fast forward back to 1940. Nazis everywhere. Paris is occupied. Picasso's still there, in his studio, smoking, grumbling, probably yelling at a sculpture. His paintings are banned, labeled degenerate, a Nazi term for, we don't get it, so it must be evil. The Gestapo hates him, which is mutual. One day, a Nazi officer strolls into his studio, uninvited, obviously, because in a dictatorship, the only thing locked is the truth, not the doors. He notices a photo of Guernica on the table. The room tightens. He looks at Picasso and sneers. "Did you do this?" Picasso, not even blinking, replies, "No, You did? Boom. Forget a mic drop. That was a bomb in the heart, lobbed with the calm precision of a man who paints truth in blood and ash. Picasso didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. That one line was a slap in the face of the Nazi officer. Not loud, not violent, just humiliating in its accuracy. It didn't just sting, it exposed. Like ripping the mask off a monster and forcing it to look in a mirror. A comeback so cold it could silence an army. The kind of reply that doesn't echo, it lingers, like smoke after something holy has burned. And no, the officer didn't arrest him. Why? Because even Nazis knew better than to mess with a man who could turn your crimes into 25 feet of immortal shame and hang it in a museum. Guernica wasn't just a painting, it was a siren screaming through brushstrokes, a war crime report written in oil, anguish, and unfiltered rage, capturing the exact moment humanity lost its grip on compassion and replaced it with bombs. Picasso didn't flinch. He painted through the occupation. Not flowers, not fruit, but raw, unsettling images that made Nazis shift uncomfortably in their fascist boots. They raided his studio, looked at his art, and walked out muttering, "Modern art is weird." Meanwhile, Guernica went on tour, wrecking nerves, stirring protests, and giving dictators indigestion. Picasso said it wouldn't return to Spain until democracy did. So the painting hung out in New York like an exiled rebel with a chip on its shoulder. Franco finally dies in 1975, but it still takes 6 more years to get the painting back to Spain. Because even in death, dictators love paperwork. And then comes 2003. The US is gearing up for war in Iraq. Talking weapons of mass destruction, regime change, imminent threat. It's a high-stakes moment, a major UN press conference, cameras flashing, reporters crammed in. The world's watching. Colin Powell settles into his seat at the table, armed with a script polished to perfection. Every word a masterpiece of persuasion, because nothing inspires confidence like a slickly delivered case on weapons of mass destruction, complete with charts and a sense of undeniable urgency. And behind him, Picasso's Guernica. Not the original, but a massive tapestry version. Still, it hits like a punch to the gut. It's the ultimate anti-war statement, a visual scream that says, this is what war really looks like. Too real. Too raw. Too honest. So they cover it up. A blue curtain goes over it. Official reason? Better TV visuals. The real reason? You can't sell a war in front of Guernica. Even in tapestry form, it was calling them out, loudly. The irony is almost poetic. A painting made to protest civilian bombing gets censored during the pitch for a new war. But the curtain held. The speech went on. And a few weeks later, the bombs fell anyway. The curtain couldn't stop the war. But Guernica? It saw it coming. History, as always, repeats itself. And that's the thing. Art isn't just decoration. It's not there to match your sofa. It's a mirror, a punch, a scream that refuses to shut up. Picasso? Oh, he was a mess. Arrogant, difficult, womanizer, the human equivalent of a fire alarm. But he stood his ground. He painted through terror. He fought fascism, because nothing says screw you to tyranny like turning your canvas into a giant middle finger with a paintbrush. He didn't just say something. He screamed it. And Guernica? That scream still echoes to this day.